past few years, rap and rhyme in Bollywood music has become an inevitable part of our soundscape. And one name that has stood out during this new age era is that of Badshah's. The name that emerged from the Punjabi rap underground scene way back in 2012 with his super hit Saturday Saturday today is reigning high on chartbusters and dance floors across the nation. So I decided to catch up with the man who's rightfully tapped into the beat that gets the new generation buzzing with his persona and music. Here's the story of the phenomenon called Badshah, also known as Aditya Prateek Singh Sisodia. Listen in. Lovely to have you, Badshah, on Brand Equity. Truly a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, before I talk to you about anything music or anything Badshah, I just want to flash back in time and talk about the fact that, you know, you were a regular guy, engineer, right? You know, a family which expected you to take the normal path in a career. Yeah. So when did you decide, firstly, when did you identify that you had this so-called skill called rapping?
See, I come from a very middle class family. Sure. My dad is an ex-government officer and my mother used to be a teacher in a government school. They both are retired now. So our path was set. You know, we were supposed to be the engineers or doctors, you know, a respectable profession, like they say. So obviously no, I never expected to be earning from
the music industry.
Writing at least.
Okay.
I went to PEC, Punjab Indian College, Chandigarh, and that's when I really started getting into music. So that's when I thought, you know, this is it, probably, because I couldn't do anything without music. Either it's studies, ya fir kuch bhi. I had to have some sort of music in my life, and that's when I was introduced to a lot of music from the other side of the globe, which is the British market. People like Rishi Rich, people like Punjabi MC. You know, Rishi Rich just made Main Ta Tere Naal Nachna. Boom film just came out, which had an impressive and eclectic soundtrack. Punjabi MC's song, Jay-Z wanted to jump on Punjabi MC's song, which was a typical Punjabi song, and he wanted to rap, and that song was being played in Germany, being played in Argentina, being played everywhere. So I thought this is a brilliant thing which is happening on the other side of the globe, and out here we're still, I don't know what we're doing, you know.
Sure.
There's a revolution going on. People of our race, our skin, you know, they're doing amazing things. So that's when I started getting into music a lot.
Like, how did you manage your first break?
So there was a college fest, and
oh, at your engineering college?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at my engineering college there was a college fest. Palash Sen's band, Dr. Palash's band was there, Euphoria, and I was begging the management to get on stage for like 5 minutes. I was like, just please give me 5 minutes, let me be on stage. And they're like, okay, you can go on stage, and those 5 minutes turned into 15 to 30. And that's when I realized I can entertain a crowd. And then there was a DJ there who was like, no, do you want to do a gig in a club? I was like, why not?
Wow.
And in that club was some guy who took me to a studio, and I did my first rap for 200 rupees. Yeah, that's how I started.
So how did you convince your parents, who must have been pretty shocked when, you know, they saw you getting into, you know, this direction and, you know, not really pursuing your engineering, so to speak?
Yeah. So I went up to them. I was like, you know, this is something that I would love to do. You know, this interests me a lot. So they were pretty shocked, and that was a reaction that I was expecting, because I knew that I am from a middle class family. There's a certain path that I need to follow, but it's just that I have to work twice as hard as I would have to otherwise. So I did my own thing as well. So I was completing my studies. On the other hand, I was going to the studios, writing, recording, and eventually I completed my engineering. I got a job.
Oh, you did complete your engineering?
Of course.
Oh, I thought you dropped out.
No. I went to St. Stephen's for 2 months. I dropped out of St. Stephen's in Delhi, and then I went to PEC.
So you got through St. Stephen's as well?
Yeah, I got through St. Stephen's as well.
Okay.
So, and that's when I dropped out of St. Stephen's, because my dad wanted me to be a B.Tech and not a BSc.
What did you want to be at that time?
I just wanted to go to college.
Okay.
And chill.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to do.
Okay.
And
so you moved from Stephen's in Delhi
to PEC Chandigarh.
But why would you do that? I mean, Stephens is, you know, one of the best colleges in the country.
Exactly, but you cannot become an engineer in Stephens, right?
Okay, and that was what you had to do.
That is what my dad wanted me to do.
Yeah, okay,
so I went to PEC.
Okay.
And yeah, I could not explain the importance of being a Stephanian, the coolness of being a Stephanian to my dad, which is fine. There were a lot of people in Stephens, but I felt like an outsider in Stephens. I thought, you know, and then I obviously...
But you were sure you were going to get in? Were you a very good student? Because
No, absolutely not. I was shocked when, you know, when my friend called me and he was like, you know, your name is in the list. You have to appear for the interview. I was like, for what? He was like, Stephen. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. And then it's a different story. The whole Stephens thing.
Tell me the story about, you know.
So I went for the interview.
Yeah.
And I was sitting outside, and there were people coming out. There were students coming out of the interview room, and literally everyone was crying, including the girls. Which was I wasn't scared because I knew I'm not gonna get in. I was pretty sure I'm not gonna get in. My dad was with me, and it was like, I was like, cool, whatever. So I went inside. There were 3 people sitting, and they asked me my name, and they asked me which school I was from. I told them. Then they asked me a few general knowledge questions. They were like, who's the election commissioner? Elections were around the corner, so they asked me who's the election commissioner. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like, how many seats are there in the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, and all those questions, constituencies. I was like, I don't know nothing. I'm sorry. And then it was like, they looked at my mark sheet, and then they was like, which is your favorite subject? I was like, mathematics. And then they looked at my mark sheet. They're like, you don't have a lot of marks though. I was like, my fundamentals are quite strong when it comes to maths. And then they were like, then they looked at each other like, let's test him. So they asked me, what is pi?
22 by 7.
Yeah, it is not 22 by 7. Pi is actually the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. So that's the definition of pi. And they were impressed. And then they asked me a few more questions, which were quite. So they asked me if you know the area of a circle.
Wow. Okay.
Can you make a square with exactly the same area? Which is, I knew it's not possible because pi r square is the area. Pi is a non-terminable number, so you will never know the exact area of a circle in the first place. So thus, you cannot make the exact
square.
So they're like,
that's pretty impressive.
Yes, they're like, we've been waiting for somebody to, you know, and then I realized they've been asking this question to a lot of people since morning. But and then they were like, you know, we're still not convinced because apart from this, you don't know anything and you don't have an impressive personality, blah, blah.
Wow.
That's what they wanted to convey.
Okay.
You don't have an impressive personality. I was like, sir, I was born in St. Stephen's Hospital, so I was born to be in St. Stephen's College.
Right.
Like, wow. And then I knew I was selected. But the funny thing is, exactly 4 years after that, my sister got a call from St. Stephen's as well.
Right.
She went there and they asked exactly the same question.
Are you serious?
I am serious. I swear I'm serious. And she told the exact same thing and she was selected as well.
So much for the interview process, huh?
And then she left the St. Stephen's as well.
What would be the one thing that you would like yourself to be doing? Let's say, you know, as your dream come true. You're already one of the most celebrated music artists in the country and of course amongst the Indian diaspora. But what is it that, you know, will make you sit up and say, wow, now I feel like, you know, my journey is complete?
I want to be number 1. And I don't want people to be surprised about it. I want to earn a lot of money. I want to have my own production house.
Okay.
I want to have my own clothing line. I want to have my own trust. Okay. There's a lot of things.
Wow. So, whereabouts have you reached in all those ambitions? Are you in the process of setting up your own production house?
I produced a film last year, a Punjabi film, which did extremely well.
What's it called?
Ardas.
Okay.
Yeah, and I am in the process of the clothing line thing.
What's it going to be called? Badshah?
No. It's you will never know it's my clothing line.
Oh, why do you want to do that?
I don't want to do it. I don't want to sell a clothing line by my name.
No?
I want to sell a good clothing line.
Oh, okay.
I want to sell a quality clothing line. If you wear a jacket, for example, आपके मन में कहीं ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि it's not because of me that you should be wearing it. It's because of the jacket that you should be wearing it. Yeah, that's the ambition. That's the aim. And
I don't hear many celebrities talk like that, but yeah, that's a good thought.
The product should speak for itself.
So, do you have a name yet?
No.
Do you have a timeline?
I have a name, but I can't disclose it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Timeline should be out soon.
Soon, isn't this
We're
year?
targeting this the winters,
Okay.
and so there's a whole campaign going on
Wow.
around it. We've hired a lot of agencies. We've hired people from Paris. We've hired people from New York who are going to look after it. There's a lot of money being spent as we speak, but that's the idea. So
Nice. So, do you also plan to become a producer? Yeah, not just Punjabi, but mainstream Bollywood
mainstream,
as well.
yes. I am actually in talks with Diljit Paji.
Okay.
So we are planning to produce something. We're still not able to get hold of a good director and a good script,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
which is a prerequisite.
Yeah.
So as soon as we find that, we'll probably go ahead.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And how about acting, which has also been, heavily speculated, because what's next? I mean, I wanted to ask you what's next from the rapper, but clearly you have many plans.
Yeah. So obviously acting takes the bottom.
Bottom?
Yeah. I don't think I can act, but I know it is only going to help brand Badshah if he acts.
Is it tough in this country? I mean, of course, if you're a struggler, it must be tough. But let's say if you're an established personality, is the money still, good enough because of the kind of piracy we have, the fact that albums are not really something that people need to buy. There are torrents, there are downloads. So the music industry, anyway, is a little bit, facing a lot of challenges because of the digital era.
Of course.
So how would you say, where is your main revenue stream?
I think the future of the industry lies A, in the digital content, B, the live business. I think anything in between is not going to fetch a lot of profit.
Oh, when you say digital content,
Yeah.
so you
Digital, I meant online.
sure.
Yeah.
So online,
Yeah.
it's not you're not making money via subscription. You're making money via advertising. Correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
So that's still the model that you think will continue for a long time before people actually start paying for music.
Yeah.
Because we're as a country, I think, and as a world also, we don't like to pay for content.
Yeah.
So you're saying the advertiser subscribed model would be the model even for the music industry for some time to
Definitely.
come. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That is going to be the model. And I think I think the music companies should start signing up talent, they should start mentoring talent, they should start nurturing talent.
Is that something you want to do as well?
I am doing it.
You're
as we
doing it.
speak, yeah.
So you are also spotting talent and nurturing them.
Of course,
who will be part of your
Yeah. So
coterie?
it's something that I'm doing in association with my label.
Okay.
I'm spotting talent, I'm producing them, I'm grooming them. Obviously Sony is going to help me with a lot of it, the release, the marketing.
Sure.
Then watch them grow into brands.
And when they do become brands and when they do make money, you will obviously get a cut out of it.
Yeah, of course.
So
Everybody earns.
yeah.
And
Fair
I think that's a business model which always thrives.
But don't you think we somehow have lack originality because we're making so many remakes? And we're not.
Yeah, so that is the common sentiment. That is the most common sentiment amongst the audience right now. But they need to understand that everything has a time. Everything has a shelf life. This is a fashion. Things come in fashion and then they go. Remakes and remixes are in fashion right now. And I see it fading away.
When?
Right now, as we speak. I think I am done with remix. I'm not going to do any more remix. पहले मेरे गाने remake हुए, फिर बाद में मैंने औरों के remake किए. I am tired of them right now.
Okay.
But one thing that people don't understand, and which is fine, because that is not their job. Their job is to enjoy and consume. That producers spend a lot of money. There's a lot at stake. So they just want to be safe. So they're trying to do everything in a safe
Formula.
zone. In a safe zone. People try to step out of the formula, but still they're trying to do things in a safe zone. which audience don't. It's not their job to understand.
Sure, sure.
So that is why I came out with Move Your Luck. You know, they asked me to do a remake. I was like, no, let's make original, because you know I don't like it that people are questioning the credibility of the originality of Bollywood. There is immense talent here.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, it's high time we make original content.
On that note, thank you so
Thank you,
much for
Sonali.
taking time out and speaking to us.
Thank you so much.